Hi, and welcome aboard J65 number 2, brand new day. J65 number 2 was built in 2006. The boat itself, 65 feet long, and its name is Brand New Day. Hull number 1 and hull number 2 that you're looking at now, Brand New Day, were really driven by the collective experiences of multiple J-boat owners, the J46 and J160. J65 number 2 really puts into place a gentleman's racer cruiser. The boat's equipped with every accoutrement and every desired luxury that you'd want to have on a long-distance racer cruiser. Its looks can be a bit deceiving. When you go down below and take a tour, you'll notice some not so standard features you'd find in a racing boat. The material inside the boat is ultra suede, and all the upholstery is ultra suede. Each stateroom is equipped with its own DVD entertainment system with a plug-in for an iPod, a DVD and CD player, so each stateroom can have its own entertainment. Hella fans, air conditioned and heated, of course. The interior of the boat is hand-selected American cherry. The wood's got a satin finish, and all the fiddles and high peak areas are high gloss finish. So the boat's really got a nice, very yachty look to it, with a satin finish on all the bulkheads, all the flat surfaces, and a high gloss finish on the rises and on all the fiddles, making the boat very elegant. It's a teak and holly floor. There's it's on a floating aluminum frame, so the boat is incredibly quiet. One of the things that always bothers people, or is a constant nuisance on a boat, is water seeping up and into wood. So what we did with the Korean countertops is we actually beveled it up, so water actually is trapped and can't get into the grain of the wood. So you'll notice that on the countertops. Another feature that's kind of neat about the boat is we wanted removable fiddles so that you could actually prepare meals and then remove the fiddle and put the crumbs into the sink. Another thing that the owner really wanted was a refrigerator you could get into from either side, whether you're on port or starboard. So we built a very nice refrigerator with access, easy access on top, with the plexiglass dividers. And then we did one other feature, and that is we had doors that open from either side. So you can open the door and get into the refrigerator from the starboard side or from the port side. One of the other features in the galley, of course, on a gentleman's cruise, what you want is an ice maker, an isotherm ice maker. Every cabinet in the boat is equipped with an automatic lighting system. So when you open a cabinet, a light turns on in the cabinetry. The freezer is easily accessible from the port side. It's 9 cubic feet. It also has the ability to run off AC or DC, so you can run off either system. The fridge and the freezers are both monitored with gauges mounted up on the port side. Of course, what every good cruising boat needs is a dedicated wine cooler and storage. This handles 42 bottles, and it's got slide-in drawers that are actually secured with battens across. One of the challenges when you're cruising with a boat is you want an area where, with your wet foulies and wet gear, that you can dry things off. We put a dedicated dehumidifier, so you can put your wet foul gear in the dehumidifier. We call it the sauna. 10 minutes later, you take your foul weather gear out, and it's unbelievably dry and warm. One of the favorite places for me on the J65 is this great nav station, and we normally put the electrical panel behind the nav station, and we switched it around to another side, which I'll show you in a moment. The boat's very well equipped. Paul Rule actually did the installation and design of all the electronics, and Paul's a much sought after electronics expert. All the wire runs were done in the factory during the construction of the boat. DC and AC and all the panel right here in one very easily accessible place, well lit, well labeled, and you can literally run the generator, run every service component from this panel right here. It's great because you're not fumbling around behind the navigator to get to the switches themselves. The boat actually has a ventilation system that was designed by Clive Dent that takes the entire bilges and constantly circulates fresh air throughout the bilges in the boat. All the wire runs are run through a contained system and the floors are actually on a free-floating aluminum grid. In other words, there are no wire runs anyplace else except through the center of the boat on a designed conduit that keeps the wiring and the boat very dry and odor-free with the ventilation system that comes out the stern. J65 number 2, brand new day, also has some unique features that enable you to really to make it a performance cruising boat. It's got a hydraulic headstay, a Reckman furler. It's got push-button winch controls, and so it really can be utilized as a race boat, and then also as a short-handed cruising boat, and it really can be handled by 2 people. Under motor, it's a 125 horsepower turbo Yanmar that pushes the boat along at about 9.5 knots, which is a very comfortable cruising speed under power. But you'll find you don't need the engine much because this boat truly is an easily driven boat by its large roached main and small non-overlapping jib. And it was one of the requirements that the owners put on us, is that they didn't want large sail plans, that they needed excessive cruise. In fact, it's a non-overlapping jib, as I said, and the controls for the hydraulic furler are in the cockpit. So it's literally a push of a button, reduces sails or puts more sails out. If you're actually going to go racing the boat, you can actually remove the anchor storage forward and the windlass comes off. So you can really convert the boat pretty easily on the bow forward, working aft. Pop-up cleats make the deck nice and uncluttered. And you'll notice the tow rail on this boat is nearly 4.5 inches wide, and it's very low profile. It was specifically done that way to make moving around the deck and crew comfort on the rail to the utmost. This boat is a conventional boat. By that I mean it has a conventional spinnaker, but also can fly code zeros and gennikers off of a tack fitting that's located forward of the stem fitting on the bow. So it really makes jibing very, very easily with an asymmetrical sail. The rig was custom made for J65 number 2. It's a Hall carbon fiber autoclaved spar and boom with a Hall autoclaved spinnaker pole. The spreaders and the entire rig assembly was scrutinized and designed really specifically for the purpose of this racer cruiser, and a lot of consideration went put into simple things like the stanchions and the stanchion bases themselves. We wanted a stanchion base that was sturdy and strong and yet elegant to look at. The profile of the deck is sleek and low profile, like all J boats, and I think it carries that characteristic J look and certainly the characteristic J performance. The boat is currently for sale. It's in San Diego, California, and available for inspection at any time.